Here we are back at Apache Wash because Jim has something in mind for us.
Yes, yes.
And
something
this time,
fun.
Something fun. At this time, we actually brought electric bikes. Never ridden on them myself, so we're going to see what happens. Jim's in charge. So where are we riding today?
The shame. Electric bikes. Old geezers on electric bikes.
That's it.
The shame.
A shame.
But
We'll see what happens.
I don't want to have another heat stroke, 3 in the last year. So we're going to try to fix that. Even though we're starting late, Bob.
My fault.
Okay. Anyway, we're back at Apache Wash because we know all these trails. And I discovered an interesting thing to do with your outdoor activities. I rode a route that I kind of almost always make out here and got home, and Strava tells me, congratulations, you're 8th fastest on Marge Simpson counterclockwise. And I said, oh, what the heck is that? And then when you look at the map, it's a cartoon outline of Marge Simpson.
Oh, we're going to put that map in here.
No, we're going to do a different one.
Oh, never mind.
I've started writing and recording and looking at my routes and saying, you know, that looks a lot like. So I come up with a name. For myself so far, Strava doesn't care what I'm doing, but maybe 100 years from now, oh, that's Little Tin Soldier, which is what we're going to ride today.
Okay, Little Tin Soldier.
Yeah, Little Tin Soldier.
Okay.
We're going to see Mama Owl on her nest.
Nice.
And then we're going to go to another area, and I'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay.
Okay.
So here we go.
Yes.
Excellent.
All righty, we're here halfway on Esplanade from Apache Wash to the power lines, and we'll talk more about stuff going on at the power lines. Behind me is Mama Owl's nest, and it's an empty nest. So she could clean out the back room and rent it out or something. I don't know. Apparently, the little guy or girl has fledged out completely and said, "Mom, I'm out of here." And they both left. So that's where they would be. And yay for her. I've seen her here, geez, almost 20 years now. Same owl, same nest. Howdy, friends. We're here on Esplanade. Where are we? East of Mama Owl's location, which of course she wasn't there to look at us today. So, okay, fine. Gonna be that way, uppity owls. Never can trust them. Don't trust your cat or small dog with them. We are going off the grid, and yet we're going to be under part of the grid because we're going to go north on this service road, which is not a trail, but it's okay. You could use it. Along the power lines, northbound to Carefree Highway. And at the next funky intersection you'll be looking for, I'll stop and chit-chat there. Howdy, friends. Now we're under the power lines, absorbing stray electrons. We're going to turn left and back towards Apache Wash Loop. We're about where Dove Valley Road is on the north side of Apache Wash. Don't get confused. There's two Dove Valley Roads. I know, it's a silly thing. Thank you, Phoenix. Anyways, we're going to cruise down this soon to become single track. This is an old Jeep route, farm truck route for all the ranch land that this used to be. And we'll go down this way.